St. John's parishioners and friends. At our last Wednesday morning parish Zoom coffee hour, it was the day before New Year's Eve, we spoke a little about the making and keeping of New Year's resolutions. Not many of us in the room make those kind of grand promises to ourselves at the beginning of a new year. Maybe we don't make them much anymore, if we ever did, because we found that we haven't been very good at keeping them. A little after the coffee hour, I saw a Facebook post that went like this. It said, "In 2020, I resolved to lose 10 pounds, only 15 to go." It does seem to me that as followers of Christ, we are in the habit of making resolutions. Maybe not the grand sweeping ones forever and ever that we used to associate with New Year's time. But for example, when we gather for a baptism, not that we're gathering very much these days, but when we do gather publicly to celebrate a baptism, each of us in the assembly is invited to renew our baptismal promises, to make those resolutions again, to love Christ, to serve Christ in all people, to respect the dignity of everyone we meet, to see the face of Christ in others, to grow in our work for justice and peace, to care for the earth. And we make those each time we celebrate a baptism because we need to keep remaking them, because we're not very good at keeping them. And we do fail, and we do forget. And so when we gather at those times, we remake them, and we recommit ourselves to their importance in our lives. It seems to me we do something the same every day when we awaken and set about whatever lies ahead of us for the day. There's a lovely morning prayer that says, "The day lies open before us." And it seems to me the day lies open before us that we might resolve to love God and neighbor just a little bit more, or in a little bit different, or in a little bit better way than we did the day before. I look forward to seeing you for worship on Sunday morning through our recorded service at 9:30, if you're able to join us, or perhaps at coffee next week at 10, when we do have a guest coming to be with us, who is the Reverend Canon Peter John Hobbs. Canon Hobbs is the Director for Community Ministries for the Diocese of Ottawa, including the Well, which meets here at St. John's. So if you can join us next Wednesday at 10, please look for the details elsewhere in this week at St. John's. Perhaps our path will cross in person on the street, or at one of these Zoom gatherings, or by telephone. Until then, take care. God be with you. Bye for now.
In the past, I've spoken about the different schools of organ music, and today I'd like to focus on the music of the French classical school, basically 1650 to 1750 in France. The organs of the time were characterized by highly colorful sounds, and the music pieces were often named after the various stops that they were to feature. Today I'd like to play a piece for you from the first book by Louis-Nicolas Clarimbault. This is the basse dessus de trompette, so the low and the high of the trumpet. Now the trumpet is on this lower manual, the big horizontal trumpet, and the accompaniment is on the upper manual, and you'll see that the hands change back and forth as the trumpet is featured in the bottom and in the top. Now, one of the interesting features of this piece is that the composer has actually marked that it is to be played gaiement. Now, honey, we're in the middle of a global pandemic and a Canadian winter, so it's going to be a stretch, but I will try to bring an appropriate level of gaiety to this performance. Basse et dessus de trompette of Louis-Nicolas Clérambault.